Hi guys, Jamie and Sarah here. Welcome back to our channel where we like to talk about different ways to make money outside of a 9-to-5.
Today's video is a little different. We're actually going to interview our friends Riley and Jenny. We met them from shooting their wedding about 4 years ago, and they are awesome people. Riley just quit his job at Tesla to travel the country in a camper for 3 months. So they're pretty cool. We're excited for you guys to learn about what they're doing now for their different sources of income. Hey. You guys don't even need a car.
Yeah, we'll just pull this to New Hampshire.
So if you guys want to share a little bit about your lives before this, how you got to Northern Michigan, and just kind of what you've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a nurse for 7 years.
Okay.
And then I actually knew that that wasn't making me happy and I didn't want to do it long term. So I decided to leave a few years ago. And then Riley is an engineer.
So I was working for Tesla out in California and absolutely loved my job.
Yeah.
But I just knew that like the kind of corporate lifestyle working for someone else wasn't what I wanted to do long term. So we kind of made a long-term plan of what we wanted to do, and this was our transition. I quit that job and we traveled for a period of time, and now we're trying to build that lifestyle where we don't have to work for people.
Okay, that's awesome.
For me, I think the start of it was actually me starting network marketing.
Okay.
And I was doing that alongside nursing. So on any break that I had, I'd be in the break room messaging people and sharing the opportunity and stuff like that. And I got really excited about it.
Okay.
And even though that we're not fully living off of that right now, that's what really was pivotal for us with our mindset. And showing us that there's more than the rat race.
Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of changed our perception of everything, like that we could potentially work for ourselves, that we could have this lifestyle where we have time freedom, where we have the ability to be home with our family working, and we really wanted to build that for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you surprised at how much money you could make from Young Living? Is that you didn't think you would? You were more just like trying to get into oils, and then you were surprised at what you were making from it?
Yeah, so I considered nursing an awesome job with great job security, a good paycheck. But I was like finding these individuals who were making that or more. They worked really hard for it. It's not an easy button. There's nothing like that in the world, but they worked really hard and they were making the same amount residually. And I was like, I'm gonna follow them. That's really smart to me.
Yeah.
And really worth my time. So we're still transitioning. We're not, at our goals yet, but we're gonna make it happen.
What are your goals?
Completely replacing our income with residual income.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like a time frame of when you're hoping to do that, or just kind of as you go, you're figuring it out?
By the time that I'm 35 and he was 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like through a combination of different sources of income too.
Yeah.
Like we want real estate as well as Young Living, and that's going to be probably our two primary sources of residual income.
So what are you guys looking into for real estate right now?
So right now we came back and we were hoping to start a portfolio and start with rentals.
Okay.
We're also interested in doing flips because he's very handy and has experience with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we came back to Northern Michigan and the market is really high.
Right.
So the hardest thing for us to do is wait, but we think it's smart right now to just hold off for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about taking those kind of risks?
I think if you don't take risks, you just will not get the reward. I don't want to play it safe. I want to be smart, but I am completely willing. I think my personality more so than yours. He's very calculated because he's an engineer, but I'm willing to take risks and go for it because I can't imagine doing it any other way.
Yeah, I love that. So do you guys want to actually show us the camper? We'll kind of start by looking over some things.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's not as much stuff in it right now as when we were traveling in it, but this was where we kept our cooler. That was all we had to keep our food cold. So every 3 days or so, we'd fill it with ice, and that was about good to go. This was our like pantry. That's where we kept all of our like fruits and veggies and boxed food, and then our stove, obviously, important for coffee every morning.
Were you guys like making every single meal out here, or did you ever do like fast stuff, like just for?
If we were traveling, we would stop at a restaurant or a fast casual, but most of our meals were cooked right here.
Okay.
And that was really fun.
Say probably 5 out of 7 days of the week we were just making our meals out here.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys enjoy cooking, right? It seems, I mean, it seems like you're really good at it based on your photos.
We do. I think Riley's the better cook, but we both enjoy cooking a lot.
Okay.
And we wanted to like keep costs down on the trip as much as possible. So obviously cooking for yourself is significantly cheaper than going out for meals.
Yeah, and healthier.
And way healthier, yeah. So yeah, this was our home. Basically, it's a full-size bed on the inside, and we equipped it with solar to meet like our needs while we were traveling. We were making videos and like filming stuff on the road, so we needed a way to keep charge on our laptops and our cameras and stuff like that. So
when you need to sit up at night, you can just kind of sit up against the wall, right?
Yeah, we got these huge pillows, so it makes kind of like a headboard, and it was super comfortable to sit up and read books or work on our laptops.
That's awesome.
The coolest part about it, I think, is that it pushed us to be outside literally all day.
Yeah.
So unless we were sleeping, these doors were wide open and we just hung out, and it was absolutely amazing.
We'd pull the awning out and sit in our camp chairs.
Yeah, that was the living room when the awning came out.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, what made you guys want to decide to take a road trip, like a long extended road trip?
I think
That's a good question.
Time freedom has always appealed to us, and so we wanted an extended road trip to wake up every single morning and say, what do you want to do today? We didn't want to be on a schedule.
And we've always been like really drawn to traveling too. This whole trip, like we actually intended to kind of piggyback off the road trip and go abroad for better part of 6 months. But we know how all that worked out. So we had tickets booked and everything.
Do people think you guys are crazy for doing this? What do you say when people criticize you?
So we've been super blessed because we're supported by friends and family, but there's always the random comments or like a passive remark or something like that. And I just think you have to let it go. If you let those little things bother you, you're gonna get taken off track, and you just need to have your blinders on and go for what you want. And I find that most criticism comes from a place of like internal fear. I think they're scared that they can't make that happen for themselves, and so they're kind of projecting that on you.
Or that we're leaving the pack kind of idea.
Yeah, the herd mentality. And then also, if somebody doesn't have what I'm fighting for, I don't listen to their criticism at all. So you wouldn't get a fitness trainer that's not fit if you're not financially free. I don't want your financial advice, or if you're not working for it. So
you're so smart. Isn't she?
When you look at like residual income versus like a saved investment account, basically your only income from your investment account is what you're earning in interest. Well, with residual income, you're earning that every single month. So we look at what we're getting from Young Living as our retirement account, because that'll always keep coming in the same amount, if not growing. So when you look at the average American saving about $100,000 by the time they retire, they're only earning $6,000 or $7,000 per year off of their interest that they're making off of that, with about 6% interest rate. So if you look at that with an MLM, that's a very entry level position, like once you start selling in the company. So I mean, where we're at now, like you'd be doing the equivalent of about $500,000 in your retirement account. So to us, earning that and like building that, it makes way more sense than having that money sitting there and like putting money away your entire life. And we're able to live a life that we're kind of happier with than pinching pennies doing other things. So
and you can absolutely do both too. It's a security. It's another form of income.
I mean, we do both. So
absolutely.
What do you guys do outside of that?
So I do some investment in the stock market, and then we have a retirement account as well that I started back when I started with Chrysler. But I mean, since we've been home, I've been dabbling in stocks and trading, and that's kind of supplemented some of our our income too. So,
Okay, interesting.
that in combination with Young Living, I'd say is our primary two sources. And then like the odd jobs that I've been working on, like the chicken coop has been other ways of finding income, which I've actually been enjoying.
Yeah.
One thing in California that I kind of missed was I wasn't able to like work on any projects because we lived in this tiny little apartment and there's no space. So coming back here, I'm able to like work with my hands, and that's something that I have really enjoyed.
That's awesome. How do you guys feel about giving up that security of like an actual paycheck? Like, what would you say to someone who's like, but you're not getting paid every 2 weeks? Like, how do you budget, or how do you feel about that, like in your own core of who you are, you know, not having that security?
You have to start out with it. Like, you have to start and get your bills paid, and you have to save some money, but there are endless ways to make money. That's your choice, how you want to do it. You could do it in a way that would make you happier. I have always been, since my very first year of nursing, willing to give it up. It's just my personality. I'm like, I would rather quit my job to go on that trip than keep security. That's just how
Right after we got married, Jenny's like, we should buy a van and travel up and down the coast of California.
Yeah, that was our first that was our first argument.
I was like, yeah, okay. And then next thing you know, we're living in a trailer.
She gotcha.
Yeah.
But with balance. Like, he's like, let's see the numbers, let's map it out. We made a vision board. And we put crazy numbers on that. Like, numbers that we thought we could not achieve, and we like blew it out of the water. So when you put your mind to something and you just hustle, you can do anything. I really believe that.
I love that.
I mean, it's definitely scary to leave that like security for sure, but I don't know, for us it was going after something that we really were passionate about, so it made a lot of sense for us to do, and we were in a place that we felt comfortable doing it because we set ourselves up for that. But now, like, every time we need to come into some money, it's like, oh, we got to figure out a way to get some income. So it definitely adds a different type of stress, but I think it's kind of cool. You feel scrappy and like, I don't know, like you guys flipping furniture, like that's super cool.
Whatever works.
That's right. It works.
And like now, because I was doing the chicken coop, somebody found out about that and they're like, oh, hey, can you do this job for me? And it's like, now we have another source of income, and things just kind of work out.
And I always think a lot about adding value. So does a company really want all of their employees to just work for them forever? Or what if you come in and you're like, I have this experience from the world, I have this different perspective, I learned this because I met these people in my network. I think you can add value when you're different.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to take it so seriously. Like, you get one chance at life, and I just think it's crazy to throw it away for security. Unless you're happy. If you like it, then do it. But if you're not happy, which most people aren't at their jobs, then I think it's crazy.
People always bring up like healthcare too. It's like, I can't leave my job because of healthcare. Well,
I would say that's the number one reason people say that they won't do it, is insurance. So I don't know.
Do you guys want to talk about that at all? What do you do for insurance?
We have this, it's technically called a health share plan. It's Christian Ministries. And we actually were hooked up with it by people in Young Living. They recommended it. They said it's awesome. And we're healthy people. We don't use healthcare a lot. But in the event of something happening, it would cover catastrophic, which is what we were looking for. But I'll find a way to pay for that and have my freedom over, a plan from a company.
And it's not bad. It's like, when I was leaving Tesla, if I were to continue the same healthcare program, it was going to be like $2,000 a month for us to pay out of pocket.
Oh my word.
Like from Cobra Care. But I think we pay like $330 a month or something like that, which is
it's
reasonable.
very doable.
That was kind of like a thing we thought about too when we were kind of making our plan. We're like, there's kind of two ways to get this freedom lifestyle. Either you can like increase your income to match your spending, or you can decrease your spending to match like the income that you want. And so we kind of did more so the decreased spending, and like when we were on the road, we were spending
very little,
$1,800 a month or something like that. So we really decreased that, and we're able to like live within our means very easily.
One thing that's super cool is we found that it's more mindset than numbers. And as weird as that sounds, like, we read it in books and we didn't believe it at first. I remember coming home and telling you, because I had read The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I was talking about mindset, and he's like, that sounds a little bit out there, but
She was saying you have to pay yourself first. And I'm like, well, we
yeah.
can barely pay our bills right now. Like,
Yeah.
how can I pay myself first? Like, we have to put all our money towards either our debt or our expenses. And so that was kind of frustrating for me.
but we found it to be true because when I was working full-time as a travel RN and you were working for Tesla, it's the most money we've ever made in our lives, and we had credit card debt. We weren't very smart. We weren't doing smart things with our money. And then afterwards, when I wasn't working as a nurse anymore and we put our mind to it, we started saving so much money. We paid off all of our debt. We saved for our trip. We found other ways to make money, and we were like, it's completely mindset.
Yeah,
You put your mind to something and you work really hard and you can make it happen.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel like is next for you guys, whether with the camper or just income based? Like, what's next for you?
If you've never looked at the Young Living ranks, it's kind of hard, but like my goal is gold.
Okay.
So gold is $6,000 a month residually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a goal. She knows. See,
Go, yeah.
that's an awesome goal. Okay.
And by middle of next year, we either want to have our first house flipped or have our first rental property.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Middle of next year. Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys taking any trips anytime soon in your camper?
We actually had one planned, and then
For last week.
Okay.
last week
Yeah.
to Vermont, and then our Jeep got rear-ended, so we didn't have means to tow it out there, which is fine.
Okay.
But we don't have any plans for it. We're probably going to winterize it and then take it back out in the spring.
Okay.
It's like really honestly up in the air, so we have our eyes wide open to opportunity. If we can't find the right deal for us in the spring, maybe we'll go back on the road.
Okay.
If we can find a home for ourselves, then we'll grab that. We're really just open to whatever
Yeah.
comes our way.
We've never really explored the East Coast, so that could be a
Okay.
cool adventure for us too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. These guys are awesome. You should check them out on YouTube and social media. We'll put all their stuff below. But thank you guys for sharing about yourselves.
Of course.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Take care.
I hope you guys found that inspiring. I know we did. We love hearing just all the different ways there are to make money and what Jenny and Riley are doing. And just kind of hope that inspires you guys in different ways you can make money as well.
Yeah, I feel super inspired by them. It was so good to just like talk to other people who think the way that we do and who just have similar ideas and just different ways to make passive income. I thought that they were being really smart and wise with their choices and just how they're looking into things. So I would definitely encourage you guys to find people like that you can talk to and that you feel inspired by. So if you have people like that in your life, that's great. Comment below. We would love to meet you guys as well. So we'll see you next time.